We just got some confirmation that there are way more leaks and there's more information from the internal side of Game Freak and the Pokemon company that we do not know about just yet. And if you're wondering what I mean by that, I mean games, projects, DLC stuff, Pokemon, literally everything as far as the games go. Of course, we'll eventually have other leaks for, other parts of Pokemon, but for the video game specifically, we had the Terra leak. That was last year and the year before that. But a couple of months ago, we found out about Project Karasu, which is a mainline Pokemon game that we have no idea specifically what it is. It's apparently not one of these that have been leaked from the Terra leak, so Project Karasu is a separate game from, the Pokemon MMO game, Pokemon Legends Galar, Pokemon Generation 11. Karasu seemingly is a completely brand new game. I have talked a little bit about what that could be specifically. It could be Pokemon Black and White remakes. I mean, it low-key could even be a reworked version of Legends Galar or like a completely redone version of a game from the Terra leak. But from my understanding, from what we have been told by leakers and stuff, is that it is actually separate from the Terra leak. We also did have this post from Riddler-Ku a long time ago, which kind of could back up that Pokemon Black and White game claim, whether or not it's like a remake, third installation, or maybe a Legend style game. Could also be something completely brand new. And before we hop right to the rest of this video, I would really appreciate if you guys could subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications if you haven't already, to help me reach our goal of 50,000 subscribers. Any support truly goes such a long way. And make sure to join up the Discord server down in the description below to be part of the giveaway Jzard and I are hosting for Generation 10. It's completely free to enter, link in the description down below. We just had this post from Ball Guy of a scrapped Pokemon. Now, I just talked about this in my last videos, and it is a bird fish Pokemon, winds and waves. Obviously, winds, flying, waves, water, a flying fish. And this is a real scrapped Pokemon from a long time ago. I'm not sure what generation, but a long time ago. Ball Guy is a very reputable leaker. That's why I'm even bringing this up. So he doesn't say anything specifically, but he does sometimes tease at things happening in the future. This could be one of the first leaks of one of the new Generation 10 Pokemon in the Pokedex, or at least most recent new leaks. Could they be remaking this specific Pokemon? Maybe. And so somebody asked if that's Karasu, which is why I had to give you guys that breakdown of what Project Karasu could be, and where that even came about. Ball Guy said nothing worth about that project, bringing up currently not on slate for this year or next year. Basically what Ball Guy is saying right there is that right now there is information about it, but really not much, really nothing worth bringing up at this specific moment, and it's not going to be released this year or next year, which in my opinion makes a lot of sense, because if it's a brand new big mainline Pokemon game, it's obviously not going to come out this year because they haven't even told us about it, and it's not coming out next year because, well, that's winds and waves time. So this game is probably going to release 2028 or 2029. Oh, and I also wanted to bring this up. Karasu apparently is not the Gen 10 DLC. There have been rumors about that, but I think it was confirmed that it is not the DLC for Winds and Waves. And now here is the big information, the awesome info. This person said, why bring it up this early then? Ball Guy then replying to that saying, to break an idea that statements and concepts from a 2024 data breach are final. In other words, he's saying that just because people think that the Terra leak is all done for, which it's definitely not, there's more from the Terra leak, there are things outside of the Terra leak. There are things from the Terra leak that have yet to be announced, and there are insiders and leakers that don't even need to rely on the Terra leak because they can get their actual information somewhere else. And that's awesome because, like I said, Project Karasu wasn't connected to the Terra leak. It was a completely, separate leak that is of a mainline Pokemon game. And the good news about that is we will have actually more to come after that. We'll have more leaks throughout this year, throughout next year, the year after that. And so, of course, turn on the post notifications so you don't miss all those leaks that do come out eventually. Something that is interesting, though, is that data mining is going to be harder on the Switch too. For Winds and Waves, it will be hard to data mine some of the stuff prior to the game's release, and that is aside from leaks. Basically, if you guys haven't known, every single Pokemon game that pretty much comes out always gets leaked and posted online. People are playing the full-on game a week, 2 weeks prior. I don't think that's going to happen with Generation 10. Gen 10, we might actually not see gameplay footage up until the game actually releases. However, I think people are smart. I think somebody's gonna figure it out eventually, so we'll have to just see. I definitely do think it's possible that we will see some actual gameplay footage a little bit before the game's release, and that's, next year. I don't really think we're gonna see anything this year unless it's some prototype beta footage that somehow, somebody got a recording of at Game Freak in their office. Speaking of data mining though, Champion Season 2 has actually already been data mined, which makes sense because it's a Switch 1 and a Switch 2 game, and then it will be on mobile eventually. So I'm not going to read everything here, but basically we have the battle pass completely put out and leaked right here, which is very crazy. I mean, this game just came out. How are you guys feeling about Champions? I haven't really had a lot of time to play it yet, but I'm gonna start playing it more so soon. I put maybe like 40 minutes into it and I thought it was pretty fun. It's definitely enjoyable. My bro Jzard is loving it though. He is grinding that game. This is also super interesting. Apparently Kangaskhan was actually blue and pink, like blue and red. Oh my goodness. So this is the first time that we've ever seen this in color, and Executor's early colors and kind of style too, which he pretty much look the same. It looks a little bit different. And this is apparently from 1993. Pokemon wasn't out yet. Like, it wasn't a full-on video game just yet. It seems like this is the game before Pokemon called Capsule Monsters that began in 1990. That is just so insane. Can you believe this? I just think that this is awesome. And this is from a New Year's greeting card, like I said, from 93. It's just funny. So like, what actually was the first Pokemon ever really theorized and created and finished and drawn? Because I believe in the past we have had confirmations from Ken Sugimori basically saying that Rhydon is the very first Pokemon to ever be made. I mean, Bulbasaur is Pokedex entry 001, but Rhydon may be the first Pokemon actually ever created. But I don't know if that has any connection to this Capsule Monsters, you know, from 1993. Like, was Rhydon the first one created for Pokemon or Pocket Monsters in the late 90s? That is very similar to what we got. It doesn't look exact, but obviously it's extremely similar. Now, what do you guys like? Do you guys like the tan kind of brownish look, or do you like the blue, red, pinkish kind of vibe? I like both. I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of love the blue, but that definitely got me thinking, like, why is this being posted? Why is this on the internet now? Is this a teaser? Because maybe they will give Kangaskhan a new regional variant in this game that will look just like this, because of the fact that we have a little part of Australia on the map of Winds and Waves. And obviously this is one of our only like kangaroo Pokemon. I guess you could say Breloom is kind of like a kangaroo as well, but like I said, this could be a perfect regional variant. This could be a teaser. They have been teasing things all year long about just like the OG Pokemon stuff, you know, the classic games, classic collection stuff. So we will just have to see. I mean, this straight up just reminds me of that tweet from Ball Guy a few weeks ago. Basically, when we broke it down, we could assume that means that they're gonna show some of the Gen 10, you know, Winds and Waves, brand new Pokemon, Pokedex, regional variants, whatever it may be, in the Pokemon anime before Winds and Waves actually comes out. And they could also double down by putting some of the, you know, Gen 10 Pokedex in Pokeopia before Winds and Waves comes out, which I know is a crazy, like, thought. Like, that's such a weird theory, but they have done that before, so it's not even necessarily a theory anymore. That's quite literally just something that they have done and probably will do again. And so I would love a Kangaskhan variant, or even just like another type of kangaroo Pokemon, or, you know, fossil, you know, dinosaur kind of Pokemon, because I feel like we need some more of that, and especially with an Australian region, or at least an Australian part of this map in this region. I feel like that would just be so awesome and such a perfect fit for Pokemon Winds and Waves. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I was actually planning on making this a short video, like a 4-minute long video, and then there was just so much to talk about, and I just kept having idea after idea in my head when recording this, so I guess it's a longer one today. I hope you guys have a fantastic day today. If you are real and watching this far in the video, comment down below your favorite dragon type Pokemon of all time. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!
Someone